right. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a little bit of time off for us. Need to get recharged and get back into it, enjoy some life. But we're back on an explosive MLB trade deadline. Ben and Chase here. That we have to break down all of these deals, especially our two favorite teams. It went to town. They absolutely unloaded, got the pieces that we needed, or at least we think we need to
Yeah,
make a big push for the postseason. But what are your overall reactions, Ben? How are you feeling after a big trade deadline?
it was crazy. I mean, it felt like the Padres also dominated like headlines, the
Yeah,
Yankees, and like there were some surprising teams like the Reds. Just a lot of moves. Maybe not like that one like giant move. Like I know Luis Robert. Everyone was talking about him. I guess Mason Miller would be a big one. Uh, but I mean, yeah, the Mets, the Phillies, they both kind of did what I think we both think they had to do. Whether it turns out to be, the pivotal, the pivotal piece to leading them to a World Series or something is another story. But you can't fault the teams for trying. Who are in that position. So, um, yeah, I mean, if you want, I want to quickly just start on the Padres
yeah.
because, and we can talk. We'll definitely talk about our two teams, but the Padres do what the Padres do and trade away their top prospect year in and year out. They continue to do this.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah, and it's just like it's AJ Preller. Is that the GM?
Yeah,
Preller. Sorry.
brother.
Um, he just continually does that. I mean, he continually doesn't value the prospects, which is there's a point to the win now, and you gotta appreciate that to some extent. It's entertaining as a fan. It's entertaining. I mean, Leo DeVries is the fifth overall prospect, and they got a reliever. Granted, a top reliever who throws absolute gas, who's controllable for 4 more years. But man, the Padres just going for it again, and that's you gotta like it as a baseball fan, but that lineup, I mean, they made a lot of moves, and they're going to be contending, I think, the Dodgers more than people think.
Definitely. I mean, they needed to do that, I think, to compete against the Dodgers, especially because
Yeah.
it's going to be tight. But it's unbelievable that they can unload the amount of prospects that they do each year when it feels like, especially for a team like the Phillies, if we unloaded that amount of prospects, it would take us 25 years to replenish it
Yeah.
at the current rate that we're doing it. So, I mean, I guess props to them that they're able to find these guys and able not able just to find them, draft them, but also convince them to sign with the Padres because you're definitely not going to stay with them. So,
No. And I was looking for this, and I found a list of prospects that AJ Preller has traded. And these are the ones that it seems like someone's put together that he has traded during his tenure. Are you ready for this?
oh my,
All right. So I'm going to start with a few that I don't know off the bat. River Ryan, Robbie Snelling, Ryan Weathers, Brandon Nett, Leo DeVries, Hunter Refro, Zach Eflin, Xavier Edwards, CJ Abrams, David Bednar, Mackenzie Gore, Andres Munoz, Josh Naylor, Max Fried, James Wood, and Trey Turner.
that's a whole lineup of
Yeah.
players.
So I mean,
Yeah, he's definitely not afraid to move on from people.
no, and like you said, I mean, they just constantly like he clearly values what that organization is also able to do with prospects and turn them into stars. And um, yeah, I mean, they got the deal done that they wanted, but they traded a big piece. I mean, they're assuming they're gonna have Bogarts there for a long time, and so I get it to some extent. But
Yeah. And I mean, how long ago was the Soto deal for them? I guess that was the last big unload for them.
yeah, Soto deal was 2023, I believe.
Okay. So 2 years ago,
So
they
they
were
trade.
able to reload.
Yeah, I mean the Padres received Michael King,
Yeah.
He was a big one, and then Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, Drew Thorpe, and catcher Kyle Higashika, I think.
Higashioka.
Yankees received Soto and also Grisham, who's still there. Um, when they traded for Soto, they obviously gave up Gore and
CJ
uh,
Abrams, James Wood,
yeah, and
Robert
then
Hassel.
Jeff Castle was the other one. Um, they got Josh Bell. They traded away Josh Bell. Oh, and right-handed pitcher Yarlin Susana and Luke Voigt. But yeah, I mean, they just got an absolute haul, and yeah, it's crazy because
I
the
don't, yeah,
Padres,
how are they able to reload that fast? That's pretty crazy.
yeah, they just continually,
And it's interesting that the prospects they do keep because out of all those people, I guess all those trades they kept Jackson Merrill, who's
Mhm.
playing every day for them.
Yeah,
So even the people that they didn't trade are still working out for them, which is really impressive.
yeah,
I got to give it to them. I hate it because we're gonna have to. One of our teams is gonna have to play them eventually, but I respect it because that's big moves. And you definitely can't be a Padres fan and be upset that they never went for it. You
no,
definitely can never say that.
and they've still kept Ethan Salas. I keep waiting for him to get traded. His stock's down a little bit, but they've kept him.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Uh,
also surprising. He wasn't involved in any of these,
no,
and
he's been
they.
injured since April.
Oh
Uh,
wow,
but that also, just so you know, that Jarlin Susana guy who was also part of that trade from the Padres to the Nationals as the last guy. He's now a top 100 prospect. He's 85th, so
of
he's
course.
not like nothing either. Like
Okay, so he'll be out the door next year.
like the Hall is he's still only 20. He's a
Um,
6'6", 235-pound pitcher who's only 20, who's still part of that Soto return from the Nationals or for the Nationals, and he has a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at 20 years old. So
that's crazy. So they might even have more down
yeah,
the.
they'll have another one coming. Yeah, he'll be up at
And
some.
most of everyone that they got in that deal, which has to be maybe one of a handful in history that all of them are making it to the majors.
That's true. Yeah, I mean he didn't. Yeah, you assuming at some point he will, and to
Yeah.
have a haul like that and everyone make it.
But
Like,
the especially the core of that deal, I mean, Mackenzie Gore was already in the majors at that point, but James Wood and Hassel was like maybe. Like they
yep,
could bottom out for some reason too, and they didn't, and they both made it. I mean, a little bit better and varying success to each of them, but
yeah,
it's still impressive that they've been able to do that. I mean, Padres are a weapon. They're a team that you can never count out. You can never expect them, especially it didn't seem like Mason Miller was going to be going anywhere unless it
no,
was going to be to the Dodgers and the Yankees, and then the Padres just kick the door down Kool-Aid style and take them away from everyone. So I'll give them
yep,
for that.
yep. And I mean, they got Nestor Cortez too. They got Ryan O'Hearn.
Yeah. And well, this is the other thing too, which we brought up when it's just I don't think that the package deals always necessarily work out. I think if you're
Mhm.
gonna do it, you should just do it one for one straight up, which happened today. There was a deal like that happened today, but
It was. Yeah.
it's just like they gave away so much, and especially to the Orioles for two people that I didn't think would be costing. And I guess cost is a relative term. I'm just putting it as they gave away four people,
Yeah. Well, and
four
that's
prospects.
I mean, and we can transition to the Mets because speaking of an overpay, the Mets made three significant moves. They got uh, Trevor Rogers, right? Trevor, I think.
Yeah,
I don't want to get them mixed up because I know his brother got traded twice.
twice.
Um, so is it Trevor Rogers? Am I
I
getting
think
no?
it's Trevor. It's either Trevor or Taylor.
It's not Trevor. It's not
T.
Trevor.
Rogers. Oh, Trevor Rogers. Oh wait, is there two Trevor Rogers, or is Trevor
Yeah,
Rogers the Baltimore pitcher, and then it's Taylor, and then some other one, some other team?
yeah. Um, there's too many Rogers. So I just got confused. Tyler Rogers. Who did I say?
Tyler Taylor and
Or Trevor.
and
Okay.
Trevor. That is awful.
All right. So
And they're all
Tyler,
pitchers. That's
yeah, all relievers too. Well, I think most of them are.
yeah.
So they got Tyler Rogers. Great. I mean, I like him. I think it's a great move. Submarine. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, he's been so consistent to have a reliever who has a career ERA under 3. I mean, he's been kind of the beacon of consistency. But they gave up a lot for a rental and a 34-year-old rental, and that was a little questionable to me because they gave away Jose Buto, was great for them last year, absolutely phenomenal for multiple inning work. This year he's been a little shakier, but still he's been one of those guys who signed with the international with the Mets when he was young, and so he's been with the organization his whole life. They and then the big one, Tidwell he's kind of struggled. I don't mind them giving up him, but they gave up Drew Gilbert, who was one of the big parts of the Verlander trade when they traded Verlander away. I really felt like that became the overpay. Drew Gilbert's a top 100 prospect. He's really started hitting in AAA this year too, kind of after May. So that to me was a big overpay. I did not like how much we gave up for a 34-year-old rental. And the other two trades I definitely didn't mind as much. We gave up, for Ryan Hesley and Cedric Mullins, we definitely didn't give up nearly as much. For Mullins, we gave up like a top 15 prospect, a 30th prospect, and guy that's unranked, which the Mets needed to fill that center field gap. Tyrone Taylor cannot hit the side of a house right now. I mean, he is in the worst slump I've ever seen. His defense is tremendous, but you need something at the bat. Like you just need something. They signed Jose Siri in the offseason, but he has been sidelined since literally like third week of the season and has not played since. So that's been an absolute bust. And Jeff McNeil's been playing center, but he's not the guy you want out there in a playoff game for center field. He's been serviceable, but he's not the guy you want out there. So you have moved him back to a second base or move him around a little bit. But yeah, to have I like overall what they did. I mean, to solidify that bullpen with Helsley, that's great for me. They didn't give up a ton for Helsley, so I don't mind that. Between that, Rogers, Soto, they got a couple days before the trade deadline, and Mullins, I think they did what they had to do, and we'll see how this turns out. The Mets and Phillies are going to be in it together. It seems like, I don't want to jinx it, but no one's making a move behind them, and they do have 7 games against each other coming up. So, no, but the Phillies made some similar moves to the Mets, similar holes to fill, center field and bullpen.
Yeah, surprisingly. And it seems like it was kind of that in the offseason too. So it was kind of cool that they both went at it at the deadline. It just really feels like it's an arms race, truly, for both of our teams. Yeah, but I was really happy with the Phillies move, especially for Duran. I mean, he's 27. He's really been, outside of Minnesota, which I feel like is kind of a hard place to pitch and ultimately just be a player anyways, because I don't know that you always get put in a great position. It's a grinder of a division. We always talked about it, how hard that division is. It was really never clear, and it's just always like they're eating each other alive. So the fact he was able to grind himself through that, have really good numbers, and he's going to be coming to Philadelphia, and hopefully he can just keep it going. But I really like his style, what he brings to the table. He's somebody that we can definitely just hang the closer pin on, and it's not even an issue moving forward. So it's definitely Dave Nabrowski's biggest move of his GM tenure here. This is like one of the things that he's needed to do. I've talked about it for so long, and I didn't even know that this would be a possibility. So it was kind of cool to overall to get somebody who you think they're going to go after, and then they get somebody just totally out of the blue was really cool. And
Sure.
yeah, and it was just unexpected that Minnesota really just imploded their entire team. I don't even know who they have left anymore. I think it's an entire AAA team. So hopefully that means good news for our buddy.
Yeah, I know. We were thinking about that. I mean, they kept
Yeah,
like Jacob Ryan. But yeah,
Yeah, they
hopefully.
pretty much sent everybody else on a bus home to find a new team, which is a pretty insane move. They're also up for sale, so I think this was just a cost saving move to maybe speed up that process a little bit, maybe find a new owner. We could definitely submit a bid of $1 officially. And but for the Phillies overall, yeah, they basically make two deals, two separate deals. I don't know why Dombrowski does this. He could have just did it all at one time, but yeah, he gets Harrison Bader too. So now it's good for us. Immaculate Grid guy. He is going to be in division and all over the place now. So
Yeah,
great Immaculate Grid guy for Harrison Bader. Not really the bat I can necessarily wanted to leave the deadline with. Really feels like we just added more defense, maybe matchup wise a little bit better. He is having a career year, but I also know that injuries have also caught him in the butt sometimes. So it really
yeah.
feels like we just added another Marsh, Kepler, Rojas to that mix.
I'll say as he had a tenure with the Mets, of course. He's a great professional player. Like he's like kind of Kevin Pillar-ish with like a little better bat, and he's always going to bring it when he's on the field. But he's that defense is going to be it's going to be really good defense. But he sometimes kind of gets you don't ever feel like he's a big threat at the plate. At least that's not how I felt when he was
Yeah.
the Mets. He was never like I never thought he was gonna, you know, have the best chance for them in a key spot. But
Yeah, he doesn't feel clutch.
no, and he's a good professional player. Good guy
Yeah.
to stick out there. But you're right, it's not like the super splashy, sexy move.
No, it wasn't like a Stephen Kwan, and it didn't have to be that. Like, I don't know what the returns would have been. I know a lot of people today in Philadelphia radio really wanted to leave the deadline with somebody like that. Um, I don't know. I'm just hoping for somebody with a little pop in the bat, maybe just a little. I don't know who that would have been. Honestly, I didn't really have anyone in mind, but
I mean,
somebody with a
I think
yeah.
Robert will be. I was surprised he wasn't traded. I think he's someone who could like just once he gets out of that organization, I think he is gonna just thrive. Like I think he just needs to get out of that organization. That's my
Oh yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, if he just tanks himself now that he didn't get traded and they just decline his option and he becomes a free agent and just settles for somewhere else, like I
Yeah,
mean,
as
that's
long as
what I
he's
would do.
as long as he's not like best friends with Eloy Jimenez or something, he should be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, against the series versus the Phillies most recently, I wasn't disappointed with what he was doing. I felt like
Yeah,
he was kind of out there auditioning himself a little bit to the Phillies, saying like, "Hey, this is what I can do." I'm
yeah,
playing with absolute 12-year-olds, but this is what I can do here.
yeah. I mean, and Dombrowski made it pretty clear, like that you guys were not training Painter. Uh,
No, yeah,
Tate is a big trade. He's probably the Phillies' top prospect besides Painter. But
yeah,
he's a long ways away. I mean, he's a catcher who's 18, who's um, got massive power potential, but he's 18, and so I know the biggest concern with him is conditioning and to see if he'll remain a catcher. But it's still a lottery ticket to some extent.
yeah, yeah. He's definitely like a flyer. He could definitely be a gem.
Yeah,
And Micah Bell, I don't hate him. I mean, he came up, he pitched a sensational game against the Pirates. He
yeah,
definitely could be a major league starter. Is he going to be a number one? No. Could he possibly get to a number two position? Maybe. Maybe he
yeah,
could grind himself out. Is he more likely a 3 to a 5? Yeah, but where the Phillies are right now, they just don't have the room for him. So I'm glad that they like recognize the opportunity to flip him for something
yeah,
that's going to help them right now. It's not to say that Mick Abel is never going to help Philly. It's not going to help him right this second. And
yeah,
it just would suck to put him in the bullpen because he's better than a bullpen arm at this point in his career.
yeah,
So yeah, I thought it was good. They didn't trade Painter. I didn't think it was really necessary to deal Painter either. So I'm glad they held on to him. And yeah, I felt like overall, unless they would have came away with like a big bat, this was pretty much how they could have done it. And it was a legit closer. It wasn't some like middle a Carlos Estevez type guy who I'm just not thrilled about. This is just a literal guy. I don't
No, it's
care.
a legit guy who you guys have team control over. Which is, I mean, to have have that and be able to say, all right, this is my closer for the next like 3 years. Like that's huge, no doubt.
Yeah,
And you're
and
gonna be
they
paying on the open market for it. Like if Diaz is a free agent next year, I don't know what he's gonna get, but I can imagine he's gonna get a. I mean, I don't know what a closer like him is gonna want, but it's gonna be a pretty big contract, and Duran's in that same boat.
yeah, and I mean, it takes the sting off of Alvarado being suspended. That was a big blow early in the season to know
Yeah,
he's gone. And even when he comes back, it's for a month and he's not going to be in the postseason. So maybe he can take a load off a little bit and maybe just be around. But that take the stung out, and this is really like the biggest closer that they've had since Papelbon, and that's been a long time, and that's
yeah,
pretty crazy to say. That's
yeah,
pretty obnoxious, and it shouldn't have been the case. But I mean, like they've just not really put a premium on relievers, and they've had guys come through, but they just weren't good enough to keep them. They had Ken Giles come through, traded him because why would you keep him? You're a middling team with Gabe Kapler as your manager, so that would be useless. Trade all these guys away, and then now it's like, this past draft they went college pitcher, college pitcher, college pitcher for the first six rounds. So they've definitely decided that they need to stack up on arms, all kinds of pitchers, whether it's going to be a reliever or a starter. So I
right.
think probably a good thing. Probably ultimately, not saying all these guys are going to hit, but if you can get one or two of these guys to do something, then it's probably worth it in the long run because you can't keep everybody forever. And yeah, just you got to like do it on the fly. And I felt
Yeah,
like both of our teams are leaving the deadline a lot better, far more competitive, and it's this really. I mean, not that 2007 was like, but I feel like that kind of feels like this year, like 2007, 2008. Like that's what this year really feels like. Like we played against each other in the playoffs last few years, but this really feels like the year where it's like, all right, both of our teams are maxed out and we're going for each other.
yeah. Well, and I mean, yeah, I mean they're going for it, and the Mets didn't spend the money they did in the offseason to not go for it. So you got to kind of put some more chips in there. I'm really glad the Mets point they did not trade uh, their two starters that are Jonathan Tong, I think is his name. The guy who kind of throws like Lincecum. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, Jonah Tong. I'm glad they didn't trade him. And Nolan McLean, who I'm really glad they didn't trade. So they didn't, and they still have. They basically didn't trade any of their like three top prospects.
Yeah, I feel like the Mets didn't trade any of the like. I thought Beatty might be up, and
Yeah, there's a lot of with Beatty, Mauricio. Although I don't really want to trade Mauricio right now. He's coming back from his injury, and he's a big dude who has just he's got like O'Neal Cruz type skills where he's just like when he hits the ball, he hits it so hard, and his arm is so strong. He just has a lot of that swing and miss still in his game. But he just, I mean, when he hits the ball, I mean that thing can just fly off the bat.
yeah,
But
if
yeah, I'm surprised that between Beatty, Vientos has started hitting a little bit too, but they're kind of crowded there right now. But it
yeah,
always
I
works
mean,
itself
just
out.
from being an outsider, it seemed like they were almost destined to deal one of those guys.
Yeah, they've all been like hitting to some extent recently, and so I'm sure it's hard. And they all still have potential. They're all still controllable. Um, yeah, and you still don't know what's going on with Pete. You hope Pete you can sign him, but how much is like between Pete and Edwin Diaz? You gotta at some point, I guess, not sign everyone. So
Yeah, where do you want to spread the money around to?
yeah, to me, it feels like a closer like Edwin Diaz is more valuable than a power hitting first baseman. Not that Alonso's not valuable, but
Yeah, it seems like you can replace those runs a little
yeah.
bit.
So, but the other team, I'm just going to touch on them because I feel like we talked about them every year. Just absolute like head scratchers, and we talked about them last year, or no, 2 years ago, 2 years ago maybe for a worse reason. But the Angels, I mean, they were buyers at the deadline, and they traded away prospects. Uh,
I
what are they
don't.
doing?
Yeah, I don't.
So
And
they
last year they were insane buyers too.
yeah, and like I'm just trying to bring up the standings because maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not. They're fourth place right now. They're 3 games under 500. They're, I guess they're technically only 4 games back of the wild card, the last wild card, but they're 53 and 56. I mean, they're one and a half game over the Twins, who sold everyone. Um,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
not to
know.
mention their division, those other two teams are going against absolutely loaded up today.
Yeah, and then, granted, the Angels didn't trade any like top 100 prospects.
Yeah, it feels
Um,
like they didn't do what they did last year and trade their like top 3 and 4.
no, no, they didn't. They didn't do that. But they traded some. They traded some guys in like their top 20. But just interesting. Like trading, they got Oswaldo Peraza, then they got Andrew Chafin and Luis Garcia. Just like lower level guys, and it was like originally it was like, well, Joe Adell and Taylor Ward are drawing interest, and then instead they just started
Yeah,
using
they
young people.
didn't. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting what how they view this. I don't know if they're just going to every year while Mike Trout's on their team, they're just going to act like they're still going for it, even though we all know they're not going to make it.
Yeah. They're the most frustrating team
Yeah,
to have to like deal with and analyze because last year they made all those moves and then waived all the people that they got at the deadline,
yeah,
which was even more infuriating that they just spent all their prospects to get rid of the people that they traded them for. And they
yeah,
didn't even finish the year. And now this year they're not a great team again. And they bought at the deadline.
yeah.
So hey, maybe next year they'll go on a run. Maybe they'll have an Arizona Diamondbacks thing and well, they'll all be laughing at us, but I don't see how it's gonna work. It feels like they have money in bad places and
Yeah, I agree. And is there any other teams you want to talk about? I know we could. There's so many things that happen. We could talk forever. Um,
um
I guess that, I mean the Astros are reacquiring Correa's is
yeah. Oh
interesting.
yeah, because that was also the only one for one deal. And it
Yes,
was a
that's right.
prospect. Yeah. Which
Matt Malinsky. What was he? Where's he at? In the Trying to see where he's at prospect wise.
yeah, it was just interesting because Correa, I mean, obviously spent pretty much his whole career lifetime Astro. And then he
Right.
ends up going back, and the Twins pay a good amount of money to facilitate the deal, and they
Yeah.
get one prospect in return. So they gave money and Correa to get a one prospect, which seems a little like a lot for the Twins. But unless this guy, they feel really confident in that he's going to be I mean, that tells me they think he's going to be a number one
What
or
was what is
a
his deal? Or I'm sorry, what was the is Correa on his last year? Do you know? Like what like
I
Correa's
don't
contract?
know.
Like is he a rental or is he gonna be there now?
I don't feel like he is. No, he's owed 96 million through 2028 and he has club options from 2029 to 2032.
Oh,
So,
so he's hopping off for a little while.
and they paid 33 million to cover his contract,
Okay.
which is a lot. That's a lot of money. I don't know. I don't think any other team sent money to facilitate a deal today.
No. No, that's a lot of money. I mean, maybe there was some money involved with that Shelby Miller, Jordan Montgomery salary dump. Um, but
But
other than
not like this.
no, not
This
like
was
that.
like a basketball salary dump move,
Yeah, no, not like that.
which and I don't know much about the prospect going back from the Astros, but
So what was it, Matt Mc,
Matt Mikulski,
I'll figure.
left-handed pitcher.
Okay, let me look before we get off here.
Yeah, because I mean, recently I think they're in trade deadlines. I think the last one was Sir Scherzer's deal. I think that was like the last big notable one. There's
Yeah,
definitely been one for ones, but
right. but still, yeah.
Like deadline day, 1-for-1, straight up for a prospect. Like this one definitely comes to mind now. It's
Yeah.
surprising.
No, that's where I'll. We got the Astros here. I'm just looking for his name. See where Matt.
Mikulski.
He's on the Astros, right?
Yeah.
Pitching prospect. He is not even. He's not even on their top 30 on Baseball America.
No way.
Was he on a different team before, and maybe he was on a different list? Mikulski. Was he just drafted? Maybe no.
Oh wait, the one article said left-handed pitcher. This one says right-handed pitcher. Matt Mikulski, baseball reference. He's 26.
Wait, is that right? He's 26. He's got a.
I'm looking at his baseball reference page. He says pitcher, throws left,
He's got a
6'4", 205, Houston Astros minor,
He's got a
26.
7.63 ERA in between high A and rookie ball as 26 years old.
That
There's no way.
what are the Twins doing?
Wait.
What is that?
What?
That can't be right. There has to be a different guy. They traded one. That MLB should just veto that deal and be like, no. You either have to give back the money or take 2 prospects.
That I'm at a loss for words that's.
And he somehow got drafted by the Giants. So he somehow ended up from the Giants to the Astros. Last year. Or this year.
I'm looking. It's right. It's basically just them getting out of like 60 million, 60, $70 million of the salary and just a salary dump. That's who they got.
That's
insane. There had to have been someone a little better. No
no
offense to this guy.
No way.
That's insane. That's insane. That's
This
insane.
might blow the James Shields deal. Like for most ridiculous thing I've ever just. How? I literally thought he was going to be like their number 1 prospect or something.
Yeah, I couldn't find when I couldn't find him in his top 30. I was getting a little concerned there.
And it's weird because when I was like reading these articles about the deals, they literally wrote nothing about this guy. Like there's nothing.
Well, yeah, and that's yeah. How did he get from the Giants to the Astros?
Yeah, what happened there? Did he get DFA'd or they just leave him in Houston one day? What happened?
That's insane.
That might be one of the craziest modern day deals ever.
We'll have to end it on that.
Yeah, that's horrible. Well, Twins, we were really only rooting for you for one guy, but your other moves really are really head scratching. To end the day with a Carlos Correa deal for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a salary dump.
And we're definitely gonna have to track all these guys that they got back. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got 10 people back today.
Who?
The Twins.
Oh yeah.
And one of them out of the 10 was Taj Bradley, which we pretty much kind of know what he is already.
Yeah.
But Good luck to you, Twins. I don't know what the game plan is. You kind of feel like the Angels a little bit to me, but
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have any news things going on right now. Well, all right. Well, on that note, I think we
forever.
can end it there. Fun little trade talk. So we'll have to figure out our plans going forward, but we'll be back.
Yeah, in some way.
Yeah, and Chase will head that a little bit, I think. But
Oh yeah, yeah. We got something a little up the sleeve,
there we do.
a little action.
All right. Well, anyone who's listening, watching, however you're doing it, we appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.